Building wealth on minimum wage. It's a lifetime commitment, and you are taking the first step by watching this video. Hey everybody, my name is James and this is Developism, the channel that wants to help you be a little better. So the year's 2020 and the current minimum wage is £8.72 per hour. And minimum full-time employment is 32 hours a week, which adds up to £14,500 a year. So if you're making somewhere around this number and you're in your 20s or your early 30s, then you have the potential to retire with over £500,000. Okay, so the first change we're going to make is with your pension. So for argument's sakes, let's say that you are on the lowest income with the lowest full-time hours, which is those 32 hours on £8.72 an hour, which means that you are on £14,500 a year. Your minimum pension contribution is 5% as of April 2019. So on £14,500 a year, your minimum contribution is £725 a year that you're putting away for old you. And your job by law has to contribute another 3% on top of your 5% that you're contributing. That's another £435 annually. So that means that your total pension savings is around £1,160 per year. Now, I know there are some jobs that contribute more than the 3%, but today we are working with the bare minimum. So the first change that we are going to make to your pension is we're going to double it. Mandatory 5%? We are going 10%, and this is why. What's that annoying expense that you get hit with before you even get your money? That's right, it's income tax. By increasing your pension contribution to 10%, you are wiping out all of your income tax. You see, as of the year 2020, the government give you a personal allowance of £12,500 a year, no tax. Anything above that gets taxed, unless it goes into your pension scheme. The government don't tax you on what you put into your pension as a way to incentivize you to stash away more money for older you. That way, they don't have to take care of you when you're older. So that one adjustment brings your wages down to just over £13,000 a year. And then of course you still have to pay your national insurance, which is 12% of your earnings above £183 per week. So at minimum wage, that's roughly around £600 a year. So once you factor in your national insurance, that dips you just under the £12,500, which was your personal allowance to not be taxed. Now this really only gives you savings of around £300 a year, but that's £300 that is going straight into your pension. So over the course of a 35-year working life, that's about £10,000 that's going into your pension instead of going towards income tax. And based over the last 10 years, the average growth of pension schemes has been 6.5%. So that average growth of 6.5% applied to this £10,000 that you saved will be having your pension looking about £40,000 better off. And if you continue to contribute that 10% over 35 years with the same growth rate that we've just spoke about, you will be looking at around £200,000 set for retirement. Oh, and I forgot to apply your employer's contribution to that, which rounds that £200,000 up to a nice £250,000. Now what you do with your pension when you finally hit retirement age is completely up to you. Whether you buy an annuity or you do a drawdown, that should be something that you have many years to look into, so don't worry about that just now. The important thing is right now is just building up that wealth. But if you did decide to buy an annuity with your pension, you're probably looking at around £7,000 to £9,000 a year, depending on your age and health and lots of other variable things. But don't forget that you're entitled to your full state pension after working 35 years. And currently that is around £175 a week, which is just over £9,000 a year. Including a full state pension means that you are looking around £16,000 to £18,000 a year for retirement. And now that we are finally done maximising our pension, you can decide to take it a step further with your remaining income. So, After we've paid our pension contribution and our national insurance, we have just over £1,000 left to work with each month. And I'll put a tag just up there of my previous video where I was explaining how to budget your life with one simple rule. Be sure to check that out after this video. So I've found that there's a mixed debate on whether or not you should buy or rent a house at the moment. My advice would be, if you are happy in the region that you're in and you don't see yourself moving away anytime soon, I would definitely buy a house. Time and time again, houses have always proved to be an excellent investment. Though there are some people out there that'll say it's not an investment, it's a liability. But once it's paid off, yes, you're still living in it. It's a liability because it has bills. I understand that. But at the end of the day, it's an investment. 20 years time, the odds are stacked in your favour that it will be more valuable. But statistics in the UK say that the average person lives in about 16 different homes over the course of their entire life. So do not take this decision lightly. But you have to consider that after you've paid off the house, you will have more disposable income. And the main focus of this video is to become wealthy. And the last essential thing that I would do is invest in the stock market every month. If you were to invest £100 a month every month for the next 35 years, providing that you invest wisely, you should be seeing between 7 to 10% growth over the next 10, 20, 30 years. Now what you want to do is build a diverse portfolio of dividend paying stocks with an aim of 4% return per year. Now personally, I recommend using a free brokerage platform like eToro. I have a link in the description below. Now it's simple to use and it's aimed at social traders. This makes it really beginner friendly because you can just look at the stocks and see what people are saying about those stocks at that time. Now if you think that investing is for you and you do decide to invest £100 a month in stocks and you reinvest any returns that you get on those stocks, over the next 10 years or more, you should be seeing somewhere between 7 to 10% annual return from your investment. So let's calculate that over the next 35 years, you did invest £100 every single month. With an expected return of 7 to 10%, let's say 8.5% for argument's sake, let's calculate how much we can make over that period of time. Now you could be looking at another £250,000 in that time, and that £250,000 should provide you another £10,000 a year from a 4% expected return on your investments. And at that level of dividend return, you'll only be getting taxed 10% above your initial £2,000. So £8,000 of that is being taxed, so that's £800 of tax that you're paying. And if you didn't buy your stocks through an ISA account, you will have to pay 10% tax above £2,000. So it almost knocks that return down to £9,000. But also by combining that with your state pension and your private pension, your annual income will be £25,000 or more. So that's how it's done. You can spend your entire life on minimum wage and still have £500,000 worth of assets to show for it. And that's not even including whether or not you've purchased a house or not. Hey, I'd just like to thank you so much for watching till the end of the video, and don't forget to check out that budget video that I mentioned, because with £1,000 a week you may need to know that one rule. It's only a 4-minute video. The link will be on the screen right now. I hope it's a big help. Speaking of help, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Till next time.